Hi everyone. Today is January 31st, and it's my mom's birthday. She would have been 90 this year. She passed away about 2.5 years ago. So, in honor of her birthday, I'm going to take one of her vintage handwritten recipes and make that for you. I will be making fresh orange cake. So what all goes into the fresh orange cake? 2 1/8 cups sifted flour, 1½ cups sugar, 3 teaspoons baking powder, 1 teaspoon salt, 1/2 cup shortening, 1 cup milk, 2 unbeaten eggs. Now I've never made this before, so we'll see how it turns out. So let's begin. Preheat your oven to 350. So in the recipe, you need to take your 2 1/8 cups flour and sift it together with the baking powder and the salt. I'll be using my mom's little sifter, and I've got most of it in there. I didn't want to bore you with that. I'll dump that in there with the 3 teaspoons of baking powder and the 1 teaspoon of salt, and we'll sift that. And this is why I didn't show you the full 2 1/8 cups. It takes forever, but I wanted to do this authentic as much as I could. All right, then it says to sift the sugar into it. The sugar is going to go just right through it. See how easy that goes? So actually, I'm just going to dump that in there. Since I'm trying to do this as authentically as possible, instead of using a non-stick cooking spray, I'm going to actually butter and flour it. Okay, it is buttered. And then just set that aside until we're ready to put the batter in. So take a large bowl, dump in your sifted ingredients. I'm going to go ahead and mix that all together. According to this recipe, they didn't use an electric mixer. They used one of those hand egg beaters. Well, I know my mom still had one when she died. I didn't keep it, and I wish I had of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to be authentic. I'm going to just attempt to mix it up with a spoon and see if I can get that thoroughly mixed. Also, you want to make sure that all of your ingredients are at room temperature. And I know my milk is, my eggs are pretty close, not quite. So dump in your 1/2 cup of shortening, and unfortunately all they had was butter shortening instead of just the regular shortening, but that should work. And your orange rind, and make sure that it's just the orange and not the white part, otherwise it's going to be a little bit bitter. And that was the rind from 1 orange. And then the 1 cup of milk, and this was my mom's measuring cup as well. So 1 cup of milk. Now it says to beat this for 150 strokes. So I will get started on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 148, 149, and 150. It really wasn't that hard to mix it with just the spoon. So next we will add the 2 unbeaten eggs. And again, beat it for another 150 strokes. Let me break the yolk a little bit here first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you caught me. I just wanted to make sure the egg was completely mixed up and it wasn't working very well with the spoon. 149, 150. Just kidding, you saw me with the mixer. But, I mean, I could have done it with the spoon, but like I said, I wanted to make sure that the eggs was totally incorporated in that. So take your cake mix and pour it in the pan. Spread it out. Looks like nice cake batter. It wouldn't have looked that good if I would have just hand mixed that last bunch. I did, for real, mix up the first bunch by hand. Although it wasn't 150 strokes, it was just mixed until it was mixed. So put it in a preheated 350-degree oven and bake it 35 to 40 minutes until a toothpick comes out clean. After 37 minutes, I took this out of the oven and we're going to test it with a toothpick. Now it is a little bit sunken in here and it did not fall. It just never rose up in the middle, and I don't know if it's because I didn't bang out the air. I wasn't even giving it any thought because I was stirring it by hand and there shouldn't have generated that much air, but then I did use the mixer at the last half. So anyway, we'll check it and see if it comes out clean, and it does. So we'll let it completely cool, and then I'm going to frost it with an orange frosting, and I'm not going to show how to do that. I'll just show you the finished product, but I will leave the recipe for the frosting down below. Alright, so the cake has cooled and I did get it frosted, and the reason why I didn't do the frosting in this video was because it was not a vintage frosting. My mom did not like frosting on any cake, so in her handwritten cookbook I could not find any recipes for frosting. So I will just set this aside until Dave gets home and then he can do a taste test. So here is the fresh orange cake that is the vintage recipe from my mom's cookbook. Let's see what Dave thinks.
This is good. It's got a nice flavor to it.
Recipe deals for easy meals. Please like, subscribe, and share. This is Cooking with Sherry. Until we meet again.